Okay, we're right here, and actually we're here in the living room right here, and you can see right here we have a 4x12 vent right over here if you get a close-up zoom. So you can see this vent that I had in my bedroom right here, it works for down here in the living room right over here. And it works good right over here. We could set the temperature right over here. Right now it's right there. And then also right here, we had this on last night. It's like a spring day. It starts off as like 65, 70 degrees in the afternoon, a little bit of shorts, and you don't need a sweatshirt or anything. And then by like 9 or 10 o'clock, it gets like around 50 degrees and the heat comes on approximately. And then it went down to 45 degrees. It wasn't like a cold night. Like this would work really good. It would open and close nonstop like during a polar vortex or just a standard winter night in New Jersey about around in the low 30s and 20s. It'll open up non-stop when the heat comes on. But last night it did come on a lot. This is kind of unnecessary data, but it's pretty cool. But it says the heat came on 20 times. It started at 9 o'clock approximately. It doesn't say the exact time, and because the only way I know, because right here it shows you the duct temperature, and then it heats up to about, it said between 100 degrees and 105 degrees, and this is actually warmer. It's about 10 to 15 degrees warmer, this vent, than in my bedroom, because right here below us, sort of on the other side of the living room, we're about maybe 12 feet away from the furnace, approximately maybe 20 feet or so, and my bedroom's all the way upstairs, all the way on the other end, the furthest from the furnace, so the duct, I don't know how many feet that is. I'll put it in the description below, or I'll do some measurements. And we didn't cool it down to turn the heat on, which most people don't do that. They don't cool the house and have the heat come on right away. But we just shut the window approximately 70 degrees and then just let it cool down naturally. And it's closed for the first 12 heat cycles, and but it's connected to the kitchen and the foyer, so those vents were open, so we didn't close those because then the main thermostat would come on too much, and in the bedrooms it'd get way too hot upstairs because it'd be like 66 degrees or below down here, and the thing won't be shutting off the furnace, and upstairs it'd be like a sauna. So we just shut down here, so it only dropped like 2 to 4 degrees down here. It didn't go below 67. At 3 o'clock I had it preheating back up to about 69 degrees, so when we wake up at 6 o'clock it'll be at 69. It'll be comfortable and we won't be freezing down here. And also it was approximately closed for 54% of the night and open 46% of the morning, and it opened up on the last 7 heat cycles at approximately 3:30, and then as soon as the sun came open at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, the heat shut off and we opened the windows as the sun came out, and then by 10:05 approximately it shows, or somewhere around that, it said that the vent closed again. So the heat came on at 9 and the vent was closed all day yesterday from the morning, and then at I think it was 3:30 it opened back up to heat the living room, and then by 10 o'clock this morning it closed again, and it's still closed till approximately, who knows, tonight, maybe 10 or 11 o'clock. Oh, actually maybe 3 o'clock again in the morning. But I'm actually going to put it back in my room because we don't really need it here in the living room, but it's kind of cool because when I come in here I like it cool, and then when the rest of the family's sometimes they like it warmer, so we could just go back and forth to our preferences. And then you can see here's a graph of, you could see from 9 o'clock to approximately 3:30 in the morning the vent was 0% open, then it shut open to 100% till about 10:05, and then the sun came out and it closed again. Here's the graph of the temperature right here. Upstairs it was a little bit warmer in the rooms, depending who wanted it warmer and cooler, but it would start at 69 at 9 o'clock when the heat came on, and then it went down to 67 around 3 o'clock, and then I had it preheating, and then by 10:05 it shut the vent at 69, 70 degrees. Last night's heat cycles right over here, we shut the windows around 69, 70 degrees again, as normal, and then you could see the heat started at about 12 in the morning last night, and for the first 3 cycles in my bedroom I didn't need to heat it. The temperatures were still dropping, and so the vent was closed. I had it set for 68, and it goes down to 67 degrees before it opens back up, and it opened up at 1:45 all the way till 7 o'clock. It used 12 cycles of heat. I didn't know it was the last cycle of heat, otherwise I would have left my room puck the same temperature, but I set it down a degree to 67 because I didn't want any more heat as much, and I cut it off on halfway through the cycle. It shut the vent, and it would reopen at 66 if the heat was to continue, and that was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So you could see 22% of the night I had the vent closed in my room, and 78% of the night I had the vent open, and we actually had 16 heat cycles, which is kind of unnecessary, but it's still pretty cool, the duct temperature, because every time it spikes up, that's when the heat comes on. Right here is the room temperature. 69.5 is when I shut the window, and then quickly shot down to 67 degrees within like an hour and a half. It was like 50 degrees then. It was getting cold in the house downstairs in the other rooms, and as soon as like 2 o'clock, it started to heat. The vent opened back up, and it went up to 68 degrees approximately, and then it started going down a little bit, and then for some reason, I guess I got warmer, and then by 7 o'clock, it's 66.5. It was the last cycle anyway, so it was only a half a cycle of heat. I don't know if you could hear this. The vent is closed and the heat's on it. My room doesn't call for heat. It's set for 68 and it's 69 in the room. And listen how quiet it is when it blocks off the heat. I barely even noticed. I wouldn't have even noticed unless that was in the hallway or downstairs or somewhere else that was calling for heat. And also, the rain is a little bit louder than the airflow. You could see right there. It's 69 in my room and it's set for 68 because the downstairs is cooler and the upstairs is warmer. So it's going to take it won't open up till it hits 67. So it's going to drop 2 degrees before my room vent opens back up.